So let's see how this really works. First, we'll go to doe.dc.gov/SGS and log in. You'll be taken to a page that looks like this. If you click on Instructions, you'll see a drop-down that has links to various instructions, frequently asked questions, etc. We strongly encourage users to review the instructions manual before entering a plan, or at least following along with the instructions as you enter the plan. First step for submitting your stormwater management plan is to create your site. To do this, click on the Erosion, Stormwater, Green Area Ratio, and Floodplain button. Then, click Sites and Plans. You can see here that we currently do not have access to any sites or plans. If we did, they would be listed here. To start entering a new site and plan, click New Site. This takes you to the project information form, which will ask you to input some high-level information about your project. This information is used to help estimate your fees, your project requirements, and which type of review your project may trigger. You may see a section of the form that asks who should have permission to view the site that you are entering. This appears if you manage an account for an organization or if you've been added as staff of that organization. Here you'll be prompted with a few questions that give you some options. For example, if you work for an engineering firm that has many other users accessing the SGS, you probably want to share access to the site with your coworkers. So you would choose that option, although this is not required. For more information about permitting others to access projects, watch the SGS training videos covering owners, agents, and staff. Enter the project street address and then click Validate Address. This will fill out the sections of the form for you using district records and run a duplicate check to make sure someone else hasn't started a permit for this address. If there's no result, or if any required fields do not get populated automatically, you may see this pop-up appear. If this happens, check the box which indicates, quote, when I clicked Validate Address, I received the result, no address match found, end quote. And then you can fill in the values yourself. If you need to use this option, make sure that the input address is fully typed out with no abbreviations, punctuations, or extra spacing. This helps with the SGS's duplicate check. Next, hit Save. Note that filling this out does not mean you've submitted a plan. A few more steps to go. In general, there's only one record in the SGS for each address. In this case, it's a new address. So we'll click Begin Entering this project. If the address you enter is already a site in the SGS, you will then be prompted to request access. If there's already a site owner with an SGS account, the request will be directed to them for approval. If there's not already a site owner with an SGS account, then DOE will approve your request. For more information about this process, see the Owners, Agents, and Staff video for more information. Clicking Begin Entering this project will take you to the site information form where we start an entry by entering the address. Depending on what kind of project you are doing, for example, building construction versus road repair, there are different ways you can enter the site address information. To that end, it is important to follow the instructions at the top of the page. In this example, we're entering a specific address. Once you have the address entered, click Validate Address. Again, if you get the pop-up message that no address was found, make sure to check this checkbox. If you get this error while trying to create the site, you can try re-entering the site from the start, ensuring that you validate the address or that you type the complete address without abbreviations, punctuations, or extra spacing in the input address field on that form, And then click this checkbox if no match is found. Try this before contacting DOE. Remember, do not change the address to an incorrect address in an attempt to bypass this error. It will create errors and delays in your plan review process. Before we move on, you may have noticed that we've collapsed the site information section above the site owner section. You can expand or condense sections as you want by clicking on the arrows next to the section title. Moving down the site information page, next we'll enter the site owner information. Use this drop-down to select the site owner or manager. Look for the name of the site owner or the long-term property manager. Usually this is your client. Leave it blank if you do not see the person's name. We'll go over how to fill this in later. Do not enter placeholder information, and do not select yourself if you are the engineer or architect. It should be the person who owns or maintains the property. Next is the project location details. This section should populate automatically after clicking the Validate Address button that we saw on the previous slide. If it doesn't, you can use the buttons to look up details manually. And then click Save. Please remember, after you're done filling out any form in the SGS, you need to click Save. Now we have successfully created the site. Next, we can start entering in the plan. Click Enter a new plan at this site to get started.